Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Wayne Blue. I'm joined by co-host Alex Wong, aka Mr. Stephen LeBron,
What?
aka Mr. Stay Out till 4 a.m. 40 after 4. Oh no, 40 after 4? 4 after 40? It's hard to say. But what's going on, man? We know this is a good Friday. This is a long weekend for everybody. Hope everyone's chilling. Maybe some people are at the cottage already. Number one
What?
thing to do in Ontario is hit the cottage. Of
Oh yeah, I'm
course.
not gonna lie. My nephews are at the cottage.
Yeah, there you
this
go.
weekend.
No, it's the number one thing. I hope you guys are kicking back. I hope you guys are spending some time with family, regardless of whether or not you're celebrating.
If you like them, yeah.
If you like them, even if you don't like them, I think some people still begrudgingly spend time with family, regardless, on this type of super long weekend here. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Yeah, what's up,
Alex?
man? It's always a good Friday when I get to talk playoff basketball
Mm.
with you. You know, I'm excited for real basketball to start. We still got Nico Harrison's Mavs tonight. Season still got a little lifeline
Oh, I'm
going into
tapped in, man.
Memphis.
Come on,
Going
man.
into Memphis, we got Miami, Atlanta. Goodness, yeah, to determine the other 8 seeds. So goodness.
It's
Once again, man, Adam Silver should abolish the play-in, man. Just go back to 1 to 8, man. Like, what was the problem with that, anyways?
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of just assumed in my mind that Atlanta was done, but I guess they just lost a 7-8 game. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch Trae Young again.
Goodness, man.
Oh man, brr. It's a cold winter. Yeah, so what we're doing here today is what we did yesterday, actually. If you watched the Scores Unfiltered show with myself, with Alex as guests on Jessica Charles' wonderful program over at The Score. And we are going to go through first round predictions. We will talk about each series. I kind of wanted to ask you basically which former Raptors are you really rooting for? You know what I mean? Which Raptor are you pulling for in these playoffs?
We're doing CanCon?
We do a little CanCon, you know what I mean? We're a Canadian
Oh,
company,
my
of course,
God.
you know.
Yeah.
Got to put the Canadian content first, but
Damn it.
we're also doing this with Jerome Chang as well, who I feel like I have not yet introduced after
Hi
like 2
there.
minutes. What's up, Jerome?
Not much. Did not stay out as late as Alex, but was with him, and that was a really fun time. Also, Alex, I'm just noticing your your camera's zoomed in a bit. Do you mind zooming it out?
Yeah, why are you so zoomed in, man?
Yo, my bad, my
I'm
bad.
just noticing. Yeah.
I did trip over my camera this morning, so
There you go.
and then I was doing a
appreciate
weird
you.
setup.
You
Hold
are
on.
so-
yeah,
By the
no,
way,
no.
I'm noticing a
Excited
new
to do this.
addition to the set, man. The Ernst & Young hat?
Oh yeah, I think I guess my camera is positioned different now because I tripped over it. So
No,
the Ernst
that-
Young hat has
come
always
on.
been there. Yeah. So
Come on.
yeah, you gotta rep your alum. You know, same as you always wearing a Sportsnet backpack everywhere that you go.
Or your UFT hat.
yeah, or your
Yeah.
UFC hat. Even though you went to McMaster, didn't you? So
Yeah, did not get a McMaster hat, unfortunately.
yeah.
There you go.
McMaster
Shots at
merch
Jimmy.
not hitting.
No, Mac merch is cool too. It's kind of like really straightforward, like UFT merch. I'm not gonna lie, but the Marauders, that's the team like mascot / logo or whatever.
Oh, that's a sick name, man.
It's a sick name, McMaster Marauders, and it's got like a hawk on it. It's good gear. I only have like 1 or 2 pieces, and honestly, do you guys still fit into your university clothes?
Hell no, man.
Mostly no. I wouldn't
Didn't
say
we
so.
just establish last time that Jerome and I got a casting call
To be-
for
to be
pudgy
round and curvy?
outfits?
Round and curvy with slightly round faces?
Yeah, didn't we all establish we got body shamed recently?
Yeah.
You know what? We
Very inappropriate for you to ask these questions, man. Very insensitive of you.
all
to
right.
be
I'm
honest.
just trying to talk about your Ernst & Young hat, people. Before Alex was into basketball, Alex was into accounting. And my man worked at the Big Four, you know what I mean?
You make it
What
sound
you
like
know
you
about
just
the-
discovered basketball, like
What
in
you-
that moment.
What you know about the Big Four, bro?
I don't know anything about the Big Four.
Rank your Big Four, bro. Come on.
Ernst & Young, I feel like got the coolest, like, you know what I mean? EY, you see it,
Really?
like, it's like most prominent, you know? It's got the little like slant. It's not a Nike check. It's just like a slight ramp.
Okay, yeah. I like
Okay,
that.
I like the EY logo. I'm not gonna lie. It looks clean behind you. Who else is in this, man? Deloitte.
Yeah, Deloitte and Touche. Yeah.
Deloitte's all right. You know, Deloitte's
Yeah.
all right. It's kind of
Deloitte hasn't been in any scandals, I don't think. Actually, I'm sure they have. They all have. been,
I'm
yeah.
sure all of these have.
Once again, I audited companies for Ernst & Young for like 8 years, so go look at those books.
Oh goodness. KPMG.
Yeah. Made famous by Phil Mickelson. the
I was
golfer.
gonna say, yeah, it's a very
Yeah.
prominent golf hat.
Yeah, he made the
What's-
KPMG hat more famous than a KPMG accountant can.
That's kind of a bar.
playoff.
Actually, I don't even know what the last one is, to be honest.
Man, I forgot too, man. Oh, PWC. Yeah.
PWC. Yeah, that one
Yeah,
has zero aura.
PWC.
Sorry, man. PWC
Yeah,
brings up
yeah.
zero feelings. So
Someone in the chat says the show's gone corporate.
I'm going EY first. I'm going KPMG second.
I like
Deloitte
that.
third, and then PWC or whatever.
Yeah, I like that. I like
Sounds
that.
like copper wiring or something. Anyway, we're here to talk about the playoffs, and we are going to start out west, Alex. And I think you're mostly going to lead this show, even though I know your energy is mad low today. But
No,
it's all good.
man.
Let's go. Let's go.
Come on, man. Yeah, let's start out west. Lots of interesting series. Let's start with the Nuggets Clippers 4-5 matchup. I think this one's got people pretty excited. I think most people, actually, I think a lot of people would pick any of the first round series in the West outside of OKC series as a must watch. Clippers 19-3 in their last 22 games. Only lost to Cleveland. Two of those losses to Cleveland and OKC.
Damn.
Kawhi Leonard played 47 minutes in game 82 to get the Clippers out of the play-in.
Wow.
And is feeling super healthy, fingers crossed. David Adelman heading into week 2 of his job versus Ty Lue. So, for each series, I want to ask you just, I think the best way to talk about it and to avoid a repeat of the Scores Unfiltered show, make sure you check it out, is for you to pick a most intriguing player in this series, and we can go from there.
Okay. My most intriguing player for this series between the Nuggets and the Clippers is James Harden.
Oh,
now,
my guy, Uno.
Here's the thing. Uno has had a phenomenal bounce back year, right? At the start of the year, when we think back on it, it's like, who believed in James Harden, right? It was just James Harden, right? Because it was talking about James Harden was like, we're basically going to go back to playing the Houston Rockets system, and it's the offense is going to be centered around him, and he's going to take on a bigger responsibility. We all kind of laughed at that. We were like, James, you're washed. You fell off. You went to Philadelphia. You weren't the guy that sort of pushed the Sixers over the top, even in the Brooklyn series, like when he was in Brooklyn, he had some injuries, but also, it just never really materialized. And I think people kind of got over that Houston Rockets experience because they had their own version of LeBronto, but with Steph Curry knocking him over all the time. So I feel like James, even though he's like undeniably an all-time great, undeniably first ballot Hall of Famer and everything like that, former MVP, people just kind of forgot about James in a way. And I feel like no one really predicted how good of a year James Harden would go on to have. I mean, makes the All-Star game, is, the most reliable player for the Clippers all season. And I think especially in this series, they're actually going to need him for reasons beyond the narrative of whether or not he's had a bounce back season. I think that for me, especially having watched the Nuggets a lot this year, it's no surprise here, but I really think that the best way to go at the Nuggets is to put Jokic into as many pick and rolls as possible, not only to sort of tire out his energy, but also just to find pockets of space to go at it. And honestly, James Harden, say what you want about his playoff experiences and everything like that, this guy is one of the greatest pick and roll players of all time. It's not even up for debate. I think he's a top 5 level pick and roll player. He's got Zubac with him. Zubac is going to have to do a lot defensively against Jokic as well, but that offensive pairing, I think that, they're going to need to hunt Jokic, and they're going to need to put him in as many pick and rolls and just exhaust him. And I think a lot of that comes down more to Harden than even Kawhi, let's say. Kawhi's going to, we know what Kawhi does. Kawhi's going to he's going to obviously shut down whoever he's guarding, and then he's going to score on whoever he's being guarded by, right? And so, Kawhi's almost siloed onto himself. He's going to do whatever he wants. But I think with James in particular, matchup-wise, this is going to be really, really important. I feel like he needs to outplay Jamal Murray in a series like this, and that's not easy because Jamal Murray is almost the opposite of James Harden. Jamal, regular season-wise, hasn't even made an All-Star game, but in the playoffs, certainly one of the best playoff performers, right? He takes it to a different level. I think James is kind of the opposite, but I also think that this is probably one of James's last chances to have, a great playoff moment. It's not like James has never had success in the playoffs, right? He's taken his teams to the conference finals before, but you would almost say he's got more moments where James was the loser in the playoffs than you would say that he was the winner in a playoff series when you think back on it. The first time, for example, he got the Rockets to the conference finals, that was the year that he got benched down the stretch while, Josh Smith and Corey Brewer was the ones pulling out the crazy upset against the Clippers and stuff like that. So I feel like with James, this kind of sets up really well. And I think if you can knock off a former champion in the Nuggets, if you can be the key catalyst and sort of the reason why the Clippers are able to, get past the Nuggets and get some revenge for what happened, I guess, in the bubble. I just think a lot of this, when I thought about this series a lot, I think James was the guy that was pivotal for me. So Well, what do you think? I know you're a big Uno fan anyway, but what do you think of the fact that James, for me, is like the most important player here?
Yeah, I think you make some interesting points. It's kind of funny that like Harden is a clear Hall of Famer. He's got the credentials, and he's like towards the latter half of his career. And I think, like you mentioned, he had a really like underappreciated season, and still it feels like he has so much to prove in this playoff setting.
Yeah.
Like he still needs like a signature postseason series or a postseason run, like the closest that they ever got. I mean, Harden was part of that early OKC team that
Sure.
made the finals, but he was a sixth man and didn't particularly play really well in in the finals. It's also funny looking back that they were arguing over a 5-year like $55 million contract.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
PJ Tucker money today.
Yo, they were legit haggling over $5 million. It was nasty.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like $5 million total, not even per year. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the closest they got outside of that was the Chris Paul, James Harden team that almost knocked off the KD Warriors and famously missed 27 straight threes. Still don't know how that happened.
But you know what I mean? Like James, like he's such a great player, but when you think about his playoff resume, it's always littered with these like moments where he just like completely dropped off.
Yeah,
It's
came
even
up
the same thing
short.
with the Sixers too.
With the Sixers, like had the 3-2 lead against Boston. Was bringing our guy John Howe from Michigan State. Remember his Chinese super fan?
Oh, John
to
Howe,
the games.
Yes. John Havlicek, man.
Yeah. Oh my god. No, but I agree with you. I think Harden is the most intriguing guy. I think most intriguing storyline to me really is just Kawhi's health. Like it's nothing new, but it's like you just wonder because you've seen this so many times, right? Like the last time we saw Kawhi in the playoffs, he was dominant in 2 games against Phoenix.
He was
against the KD Booker Suns, and then he was just gone for the year.
Yeah,
and they lost that series when it looked like that was a Clippers team that was set up to make a run. And like this Clippers team, I think is very set up to make a run. And I think we both like the Clippers in this series.
I mean, I was surprised when you. Well, I guess I wasn't surprised because I think you've loved the Clippers all year. You've been ready to jump on this Clippers bandwagon. I think you hop from LA to LA in the midseason bandwagon.
I'm either streetlights or spotlights. Man.
You're both, actually.
All of the lights.
Yeah, he's Inglewood. He's Mountain View.
Yeah.
He's whatever, West Hollywood.
Oh man, where do we stay? Alhambra.
Yeah. You know me.
Yo, I'm good, man.
Whatever that Getty building was in.
Yeah, I'm good on the 405.
You in the Palisades. You're everywhere, man. Anywhere there's an arrow on, that's where you're in.
I'm good wherever Jerome drives me in LA, man.
That's everywhere, actually. Shouts to Jerome. Thank you for driving us once again.
All of the lights.
Are we kind of discounting the Nuggets just a little bit though? Like, come on, man. Like, look at what Jokic is doing. Like, I feel like a lot of playoff analysis comes down to like, okay, who's got the best player in the series?
Sure.
And like with all due respect to Kawhi, and all due respect to James Harden, who I've just like laid out the case why he's interesting. I mean, no one's even close to how good Jokic is in this series. So why did we both pick the Clippers over the Nuggets here?
I don't think this is an indictment on Jokic at all, right? I think this is an indictment on the rest of the team.
Wait, how is it not an indictment on Jokic, though? I don't understand, because with every other player, if they lose, we point to the main guy, we're like, you came up short.
No, but I think you look at this team and you look at their inconsistencies this season, and you just look at the roster, and Jokic is probably going to average like ridiculous numbers in this series. Probably put up 35 points and a triple-double. And would you still be shocked that the Nuggets lose this series, right? I think this is about just lining up these two teams, and I think the Clippers are way more playoff ready with their roster, their style of play, their star players. Like they're not relying on one single guy and all this. And I mean, this is one of those like all-time first-round matchups to me. This reminds me of when the Spurs played the Clippers, like back in that Chris Paul,
Chris Paul hits a game winner in Game 7, over Tim Duncan
to cut the lead to 1. So this is like a heavyweight matchup, and the Clippers are coming in as like outside of OKC, who's been amazing all year. They look like the best team, and none of it feels like a fluke. None of it. When Kawhi is in there healthy, they've built a great defensive team. We talked about James Harden. Like Zubac is an all NBA consideration player now. Like Norm Powell, we've talked about. Like line these two teams up. Like listen, this is no disrespect to Jokic, but the Clippers just have the better team.
Look, I agree with you. Jokic having no help thing, I'm like, eventually I get kind of tired of it. It's like, you tell me Jamal Murray's not a good player.
Well,
Michael Porter
I
Jr.
don't
is not a
agree.
good
I
player.
don't
Aaron
agree with the
Gordon's not a
no
good
help
player. Christian
because
Brown's not a good player. Like,
no, I
this
don't.
isn't exactly like LeBron taking George Hill to the finals, man.
No, I don't agree with the no help either because this is the core group that won the championship like a few years ago. You can
No, it's
quibble.
still the
We
same
can
core
quibble with
four at least. Yeah.
You can quibble with the lack of depth, and I
Yeah.
think that's a huge thing for them.
Yeah.
But it's the decline in some of the players too, right?
Sure.
Like
sure.
I think there's a lot of questions about Jamal Murray,
Mhm.
and they were
Those
a
are
team.
regular season questions. There's always a question about Jamal in the regular season. It's like, why is he so underwhelming? And then he goes to the playoffs, and it's like, no, I mean, I think for me, like when I'm watching a lot of this Jokic thing, I mean, I'm seeing, for example, a lot of people put in their MVP votes, and I think again, like Jokic is a super deserving MVP. Like it's not like a bad thing to vote Jokic for MVP, but it's like, when I see the narrative around Jokic, it's just like somehow all the blame eludes him no matter what. Like, okay, when he has
Damn it! You're saying you're saying Jokic is blameless.
no,
now.
when he has a 48 win season, it's like he got no help, but he's the best player. And then when he has a great season, and it's like some of the counting stats are in the other players' favor, it's like, well, his advanced stats are better, or like they're winning more. And I'm just like, I'm not even trying to start a Jokic agenda. It's just like a slippery sort of target to even sort of like pin any sort of accountability towards. You know what I mean? Like I think the way that LeBron sort of got held to various standards, the way that Steph Curry got held to various standards, like I just don't see maybe the same level applied to Jokic, and maybe no one necessarily cares about it as much, and everyone acknowledges universally how great he is, including myself. But even this year in the MVP race, it's like people are like, yeah, but. I mean, I guess 20 extra wins doesn't matter. Shea's team is so much better than the Nuggets that it doesn't matter. And I'm like, bro, 20 wins? How does 20 wins not factor into an MVP race anymore?
Yeah,
What's the game about? Is the game about putting up the most numbers, or is it about winning the game, man?
All right, Akam. No, I think
Give it to Shea, damn it.
I mean, if I had a vote, I would give it to Jokic. But
See,
I agree with you. I agree with you because the funniest thing I heard this week was, hey, maybe the fact that Michael Malone got fired is actually a pro Jokic argument because he was able to weather so much turmoil behind the scenes.
What about holding the locker room together then?
And I was like, oh, this is how fascist states talk to create propaganda. I was like, this makes no sense. He's getting credited because the coach and GM committed like mutual self-assured destruction. But listen, that's a separate argument with the MVP, but I get it. Like, I think Jokic has really good PR. And I mean, come on, man. He's having a
he's not a great PR. He's just a great all-time player.
It's almost like maybe LeBron was unfairly covered in the media for the last decade.
Okay.
Have we ever thought about that? Like,
all right.
This man made 8 straight finals,
Yeah,
I haven't seen Jokic do that. I haven't seen any of these guys make 2 straight finals. And meanwhile, LeBron was picking up all the criticism. I can't believe you got me here defending LeBron in front of these Toronto listeners, man.
Goodness, man.
God, I'm really full LA, man.
Spotlights right now.
Yeah, no, but having said all that, I think we're both going with the Clippers in this series. And I think you've got them in 5.
I actually got them in 5. I'm really confident in the Clippers being able to guard Jokic largely in one-on-one. Like, I actually think that the game plan here for Ty Lue should be to keep Zubac on Jokic one-on-one as much as possible, turn Jokic into a scorer, make him score 40. I think the goal should be for Jokic to average like 35 in the series. I'm not even kidding. But to limit his assists to like 8, maybe 7. You know what I mean? And play single coverage on the other guys and really stick and switch off ball if you need to. I mean, none of those guys, aside from Jamal, are that dangerous by themselves. And ultimately, I think the pick and roll game going the other way. I just think like you just want to strain Jokic most well, like make him score everything and then make him defend everything. I feel like over a course of, I mean, especially if you have a deep team and you got Kawhi, I think you should take it in 5. I really do.
Okay, yeah, I've got the Clippers in 6. Jerome. What is your pick in this series?
Congratulations, Alex. 1 year later, after you told us over skewers that the Clippers would beat the Nuggets in the playoffs, we're all finally picking the Clippers. I got them in 6. I'm always going to pick the Clippers for as long as Kawhi is healthy, which is one of the worst bets you can make.
Plus, we love the Intuit Dome, so
Yes,
Hey,
we do.
you know what? The Intuit Dome, honestly, I think that swung us, man. I think
the
the
media
Intuit
meal
Dome
earns at least one round.
Oh my
of
goodness,
playoff
man!
win.
The media meal. Yeah, do I have pictures of this media meal over there?
Oh man, I'm still full. I'm still full
You
from
still feel
that.
after
Oh my
overtime.
god, yo!
What?
Honestly, we were bought. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna cop to this. Yet Steve Ballmer bought us out. I think that's what happened here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thigh high fives, everybody. Go
we
Clippers.
got a
Thigh
Norm Powell
fives.
interview.
We're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
introduce a thigh five.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. All right. Next up, we've got the Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers against the Minnesota Timberwolves in the 3-6 matchup. Luka Doncic, who ended Minnesota's playoff run last season, back again in a new uniform thanks to Nico Harrison. Rudy Gobert, already being asked questions about whether he'll be playable
Yeah, that's
in a
tough,
playoff
man.
series, a tradition like no other.
How many defensive player of the years did he win? 4?
Is he up to 4?
I think he's up to 4. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Rudy Gobert,
Okay, that's
defensive player.
I mean, he deserves it. It's just,
4
postseason
times.
postseason's a different beast. Yeah, Lakers Wolves, another really interesting series. Anthony Edwards playing at a first team All NBA level this year,
Mm-hmm.
and the Wolves have been playing a lot better here coming down the stretch. Who is
Yeah.
your most intriguing player in this series, and why is it not Gabe Vincent?
I'm gonna leave it for you, man. I know how much of a fan of Gabe you are.
7.
My most intriguing player for this series is Julius Randle.
Oh, he's intriguing.
So I'll
Yeah.
just say this: Julius Randle has only made the playoffs twice in his career. So he's played in 3 playoff series. They were all with the Knicks. It was the first round against Atlanta. They lost 4-1 in that series. That was the fuck Trae Young series, where Trae Young became the villain in MSG. Then the following year, the Knicks beat the Cavs in round 1. That was the Jared Allen lights were brighter than expected series. And then they lost to Miami. Miami was on their devil magic once again that year. So Julius Randle has only played 3 playoff series in his whole career. The field goal percentage is almost unbelievable when you actually take a look at it. The first time he made the playoffs, he played 5 games. For those 5 games, his field goal percentage, not effective, not true shooting percentage. We're just talking about what percentage of shots he made when he attempted them. First year, it was 29.8. The next series, which was also 5 games, 33%. And then 41% against Miami. So his total career field goal percentage in the playoffs is actually at 34%, which is almost unbelievable, especially for a big man. I mean, I know he plays on the perimeter. He creates a lot of his own offense. Like, I'm not saying he's just like DeAndre Jordan dunking lobs, but 34%. And I think that, like, if you watched it too, it wasn't like, he was just missing shots. Like, it was like he looked like he was like malfunctioning. It was like that, like the first couple years DeMar went to the playoffs. It was almost that level of like he's just got no answers. And I hope for Julius's sake, because he actually has had a decent year in Minnesota. Like, everyone talked about that trade as the cat trade, right? And it was mostly done for financial reasons. And, quite frankly, based on how that trade turned out, I think people would say the Knicks won that trade. But at the same time, Minnesota he's been all right for Minnesota. Like, once he got healthy and stuff like that and sort of fit in, he's obviously a distant second option to Anthony Edwards. But at the same time, his efficiency this year, if you look at true shooting percentage, is actually more efficient than any of the 3 years he made it as an all-star for the Knicks. So in this series, it's going to be intriguing for multiple reasons. Number one, like, basically, can he just like play normal and not shoot 30% as a big? And then number 2, like, he's probably going to have to guard LeBron, which is kind of incredible to me. And I don't even know how that would even look necessarily. I know LeBron's 40, but come on, man. I just don't know if Julius Randle's the guy to guard LeBron. But when you really look at the matchups for Minnesota, it's like McDaniel's obviously going to guard Luka again, just like last year. And then who else is their big, bulky, like it's like him or Naz Reid, like not also really not an ideal target to guard LeBron. So that's Julius Randle for me. I don't know, man. What do you think is the issue with Julius Randle when he goes to the playoffs? Because those numbers are like insanely bad.
Man, I think you just see some guys when they get to that level, and I think Randall is obviously kind of, he's a scoring type player, so it's not like he's gonna play a more all around game when you get to the postseason.
Okay.
And I just, you've seen guys like, in their first couple runs in the playoffs, just like not kind of live up to those expectations. And Randall's not the best. He doesn't take the best shots either, too, right?
Sure.
Like
There's a lot of
he's-
jab stepping.
Like the shot selection is
Yeah.
not great, but he's going to get up his 20 to 25 shots a night. I think it's a really interesting series because Minnesota feels like they have a lot of like wild card players, like even Dante DiVincenzo.
Sure.
Like
He was great last year.
like you mentioned, Jaden McDaniels. Like sometimes he'll have some like random really good offensive games for you, and even Nikhil Alexander Walker, who I think has been pretty big for them. So I can see this series being. I think what you're gonna get from Ant. You know what you're gonna get from Luka, from LeBron, maybe even Austin Reeves too. And I think that's why it makes Randall such an interesting guy. Like, can he be a consistent contributor? But then there's a lot of just wild card role players on both sides that I think can swing a lot of games in this series. But I still just lean towards the Lakers just because of Luka and LeBron, man. Like, that's going to be a tough, like you mentioned, that's going to be tough for them to stop. And that's got me leaning towards the Lakers.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Like, I will pick the Lakers here too. I think I had it in 7. I think there's a lot of players in the Lakers I'm not fully trusting in yet either.
Okay.
Like when I watch the Lakers right now, like a lot of it is okay on offense. A lot of it is just like pretty simple. You have Luka, you have LeBron. Austin Reeves has been playing at an all-star level. A lot of the times Austin Reeves leads them in scoring. So it's like that alone is going to get you, a great baseline offensively. But defensively, that thing feels like smoke and mirrors, man.
Yeah.
Like it's all like JJ running weird zones. Like that game they guarded, they played against Jokic. I think they ran like just really funky stuff, you know what I mean? And I think that like you'll probably see that from series to series. Like I think in this one, for example, I think they have a couple of options. I think there's one option where you just trap Ant all game, throw a double team on him, make him super frustrated. Basically force the ball out of his hands and make their other guys play 4-on-3. That's where, for me, again, Randall is going to be important because he's going to be the guy who needs to capitalize the most. By the way, Randall's only taken 13 shots a game this year, so,
Oh, wow, so disciplined.
It's totally different for Julius, but there's that sort of option. I think there's probably an option where maybe you zone up against this team a lot and force the Timberwolves to shoot a lot of threes. Granted, they have a lot of capable three-point shooters, including Ant, who has been one of the best this season, if not the best three-point shooter this season. But yeah, ultimately, I don't know. I just don't think that there's enough offensively for Minnesota to put together where I think smoke and mirrors is enough to get the Lakers past the first round at least. But I do think it'll take 7 games.
Yeah, nothing. Really, no result in this series would surprise me. Like, if the Wolves won, like I wouldn't be shocked.
I mean, it'd be pretty crazy if the Lakers lost round 1, man.
Yeah,
After
but
getting Luka?
these matchups are so close, right? Like I think these matchups are tough. Like you've got them going 7. I do think too with LeBron. I know he's 40. He's not, the same LeBron, but
Sure.
the first round, Adam Silver's, first round schedule is designed for the favorites to win. There's like the multiple off days between a lot of the games. And, we're going to get a pretty prime LeBron for at least the first half of the series. Because I think the last part, you start going every other day and stuff. And I think you've seen LeBron kind of slip up a little bit the last couple of years in the playoffs at times because of the scheduling. But, like, I think you're going to get the best Luka, the best LeBron in this series. So, yeah, I'm going with the Lakers, too. And I'm going to take them in 6.
Jerome, what you got?
I'll go with Minnesota in 6.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
My God, man. Adam Silver going to commit seppuku at half court.
I don't know. There's something that's, Minnesota was a Western Conference finalist. They do have Anthony Edwards, like the same way that you're getting a super like healthy at its best, like Luka and LeBron. Like you're also getting that with AE, and I'm not even sure if he has any kind of revenge thoughts in mind just because he is going up against Luka again, and that's who eliminated him last year. But
I'm sure
beyond that, I don't know. A lot of it, the pick is just like it is a really tight series, and why not mix it up? Because we've picked, I think, like for the most part, we picked like a lot of the same, and this is kind of a swing one that I could definitely see that happening anyway.
Yeah, it would not shock me if the Wolves won.
It would not shock me, right?
Yeah, it would not shock me. So,
also, there's something that is kind of funny about the idea of like up until this point, and undoubtedly the Lakers won this whole deal, and if the Lakers somehow get eliminated,
Oh
like
man,
in the first round.
Ooh.
Like
I need a Nico Harrison cam, man.
I need a
Nico
Harrison presser, like just to describe, like go through
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
I need Nico Harrison in every Laker game, man. I need.
yeah.
No, Nico
assuming-
legit. Yeah, he might hold a press conference again.
Yeah,
if,
he might hold the parade at that point.
if they lose. Yeah, he's like Luka's fat.
Yeah.
Yo. By the way, I am on Julius Randle's basketball reference page, possibly for the first time ever because of this, and the nickname section that they have for him. Very interesting. Do you guys know what Julius Randle's nicknames are? What his AKAs are?
Randy.
it is-
Yeah.
Randy Randle? Julius
Randall the handle.
Well, I don't know. If you see him handle, I don't think you would call him Randall the handle. They have, so Orange Julius is on here.
Oh,
Okay,
that's that's really good actually. Damn.
Oh, really? You
Yeah.
like? I guess
Yeah.
it no longer applies because he's no longer with the Knicks. Don Julio.
Oh man, that's what we drinking at LeBron's party.
That's crazy because I don't know if I want him to take a shot.
Yo, exactly.
God damn.
King Julius. Big
Okay.
Jew as well. Big J.
No, you gotta be careful about that one, man.
Just big JW. Okay. And then Beyblade. I'm surprised Beyblade's on here.
He's got Beyblade.
Yeah,
What is
sorry.
that? How does that even connect?
I mean, that is kind of what he looks like going into the paint. So.
It's like the Pascal thing. You know, they were calling Pascal a Beyblade because he was doing the spin move a lot. So
Yeah.
Julius does a spin move a decent amount too. So yeah. So I guess you're a big fan of Orange Julius versus
Yeah.
the other options here.
Would you give him Big Julep? In honor
Yeah,
of your
Big
famous
Julep
spot
is
in
good,
Montreal?
man. Anything
Oh,
is
man.
anything but the other one.
Big JU.
Oh, guys, come on. All right, so
All right.
we've got the Lakers. Jerome is going with the Wolves, and next up we've got the Houston Rockets, the number 2 seed, against the Golden State Warriors. You know, classic young up and coming team against the experienced champs who added Jimmy Butler. Yeah, who's your most intriguing guy in this series?
Honestly, most intriguing. I just mean it in the definition of intriguing. I think it's Amin Thompson.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Amen. XLNC middle name Thompson. So I think undeniably, if there was a pick for like who is the sexy blogger player of the year, of like, if you know, it's like the guy that's talked about on Twitter the most, the guy who isn't like an all-star, but like is unconventional, like really celebrated. I think Amen is like the universal pick this year. He's played such a big role in Houston's ability to get the 2 seed here. He's a young player who, honestly, like probably top 5 athlete in the league. Like there's so many freakish athletes in the league, but like, the way he's able to, he's kind of like shaped like a shooting guard, but he can like play as big as a power forward. It feels like the way he's able to extend his arms and jump and his burst. It's just like he makes a lot of plays that, quite frankly, like even though you put aside, I guess, his twin, like nobody really plays like him in the entire league. And I think this has really garnered him like that sort of like underground status. You know what I mean? Like this is like when Kendrick was making like, what's the one before Good Kid, Mad City? This is section 80. Yeah, this is section 80 Kendrick right here, okay? Like that's where Amin Thompson is right now. He has yet to make that sort of like mainstream jump, and I feel like this is the series where he can potentially do that. Number one, he's already being billed as the Steph stopper.
This is never good for anybody getting billed as a stopper of a superstar player.
You know what?
It has never ended well.
You know what? That's fair. And I kind of want to go through a bit of the history of Steph stoppers because, because when you're a great player, like when you're Kobe, when you're LeBron, like you're going to have people like, obviously Jordan was like the first example of this. You're going to have people who are labeled as like, the special rules regarding the Jordan rules, you know what I mean? Or like Deshaun Stevenson being the LeBron stopper for a while, or whoever it was for Kobe, whether it was
Ruben Patterson,
man, come on, man. But I think, I don't know, Steph for me has certainly had lots of like playoff moments and lots of times he's bested guys defensively. But like, if I were to ask you who your top 5 Steph stoppers were, just off the top of your head, who would you sort of go with?
I don't even have 5 for you, man. I mean, for me, like Fred comes to mind for sure.
Yep, for sure.
After that, I honestly don't have anyone that comes to mind as like someone who really gave Steph problems.
What about Matthew Dellavedova?
Oh, yeah, Delhi gave him problems for a couple of games, and they had to go get an IV drip.
Yeah, arguably,
He was dripping so hard. He was aura farming. He had to go get some more drip.
arguably, Steph gave Delhi more problems because he put him in the hospital.
Yeah, I wouldn't
for
necessarily. I
dehydration.
mean, fair. Like Delhi did like have Steph's number for like 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me give you some examples that I thought of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Because Steph has obviously been in the playoffs a million times. Tony Allen.
Sure. Again, like momentarily. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Tony Allen also guarded a lot of clay in that series, but whatever. Obviously,
and
he's gonna
also
guard
in that series, they just decided to stop guarding Tony Allen and won the series.
Yeah, they put Andrew Bogut on him, and that was legit like a game-changing strategy.
Yeah.
Iman Shumpert did a lot of guarding Steph.
I do not remember Shumpert giving Steph problems.
No, you don't remember Shumpert with the high top?
I do not remember him giving 30 any problems.
No, Iman Shumpert was going crazy at that point, man. Like he's since become like a really beloved former NBA player, podcaster, like great storyteller, everything like that. But I just remember Iman Shumpert at this point, he popped up in that music video when he was like naked holding the baby in that nativity scene.
Oh yeah. This guy, modern day D'Angelo. Yeah.
with Tiana Taylor, which I think they might be separated now. Which
it's getting messy. It's getting messy publicly.
It's really unfortunate because I actually really like their relationship as well. But anyway, CP3.
You like about okay, yeah. CP. When did CP ever give Steph problems? Man?
By the way, CP3's most famous Steph moment is when Steph dribbled around 4 guys, or when Steph went behind his back twice and dropped CP on the baseline.
Oh my god! Didn't they beat them? They beat them when he was with the Rockets, and it's like it was reported they like chanted "fucks Chris Paul" in the locker room after. Also, the funniest thing in like 10 years will be like, yo, remember when CP was on the Warriors for a year?
Yeah, they were teammates. That's right. Last year, man, CP looked super washed last year with the T-shirt on, and then Austin Rivers, which I didn't even know this one until I really I guess I Googled it.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, yo, Austin Rivers gave Steph problems. He held him to 35% shooting one series. I'm like, I don't remember this at all. But I guess Austin Rivers did play Steph a lot as a member of the Rockets, as a member of the Clippers. I guess my point is, like, when you really do this exercise, aside from, like, Fred and I guess the Raptors' infamous box and one, there really aren't any, like, certified, credible Steph stoppers. And so hopefully Amen can do something of that sort this year. But at least past history would suggest that you're setting a guy up for failure when you're actually calling anybody the Steph Curry stopper. But
well, it's crazy too. Like Steph's longevity, the list that you just gave out, half of these guys are podcasters now. One's on the Ringer. One's got the Grit and Grind pod.
Out the Mud pod is great, man. They just had Marcus All go on.
Yeah, that was a great Marcus All.
That was a great episode.
Everybody should check that out.
Yeah.
I actually did. I guess it was common knowledge that he had Grit and Grind engraved on his ring, right?
Yes.
I forgot about this, but it was very cool hearing him talk about that with Zebo and Tony.
I remember that series, especially when the Raptors got to the conference finals against the Bucks, and obviously in the finals against the Warriors. That I remember seeing Grizzlies reporters come from Memphis,
just
to
cover.
Milwaukee, to Toronto, whatever, just to cover Mark, and I was like, this is so awesome, man. Like the fact that we had to form this like. We took the best of the Spurs, the best of the Grizzlies, put it together with the existing best of the Raptors. Just like 3 teams that couldn't really. Well, I guess the Spurs did win it, but like at that time they hit a cap. It was like 3 teams sort of forming and putting all their assets in one bag, and then ultimately win the title together. That was really beautiful. Mark is actually such a interesting guy because he grew up in Memphis as well. Because he moved to Memphis along with his family to take care of Pau Gasol, who was with the Grizzlies first, and so. Mark, when he speaks English, especially when he's talking to other people from the South, has a very strong Southern drawl, but mixed with like a Spanish accent, which is like one of the most unique accents. Yeah,
and he's like dropping a lot of cuss words and everything too. Like it's like a different Marcus Soul.
He'll be like "she," and I'm like, "What?" Mark,
not Clay Davis.
Yeah, no. When he says "shit," it sounds like Clay
Zebo used to run this shit. Fuck Steph Curry, man. Yeah, so this is a tough series to pick. I ultimately went with the Rockets, and I just think the Warriors bring an intimidation factor. I think with their experience with Draymond Green, like they like to try to punk younger teams. We saw that a few years ago when they played Sacramento. I just think this Houston team is tough. I think, I completely agree with all the talk about the questions about who their crunch time guy is going to be, what that offense is going to look like. But I think over a 7-game series, I like Houston's physicality. I don't think they're going to back down to the Warriors, and I think there's enough young talent there that they're gonna get it done against the Warriors. So I'm taking the Rockets. I believe in 7.
Jerome, who you got?
I got the Rockets in 7.
Dude is
Wow.
rocking. Dude is rocking a Rockets jersey, man.
Shengun jersey. How
Let's
could I not
go.
pick them?
Because
Yeah.
my question for this is also like,
Yo, Jerome's giving Adam Silver's worst nightmares. Steph and LeBron going home.
Oh,
Steph and
nice. Good
LeBron
point.
going home. It'll be
really don't care
Alperen
about
Şengün
ratings.
posting up Rudy Gobert in round 2, man. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Adam Silver quitting on the spot, man. Mark Tatum, get ready to announce the draft.
Mark Tatum also committing seppuku.
Yo, Kiki Vanderway, get over here, man. You're running the league, man.
Holy. Yeah, Rockets. So we're Rockets gang over here.
Okay, but Rockets gang, let me ask you, because I got the Warriors winning this one. I think I got them winning in 7, so I think it's going to be a long series. Who's the Rockets' go-to guy down this stretch?
Yeah, I'm telling you, Fred's gonna resurrect his playoff magic. Also, like,
Come on, man.
also like I see
Yo,
some
I
games,
love Fred, but let's be real, man. That's not happening.
I see games where the Rockets are just gonna run them out of the gym, man. Who's to say that every
okay.
game's gonna come down to the last possession?
I don't
Run
also
them out
feel
the
very
gym.
confident after that play-in game and watching like Steph and
okay.
Jimmy have to carry like what felt like a bunch of bums otherwise to that win over like a pretty depleted Grizzlies.
But you don't think the young guys are going to panic a little bit? Jalen Green, it's like,
I think that's why I have him in 7.
It's like a game 5 series tied 2-2. You know, they're in Houston, and the Rockets are down 4, and they need a bucket with a minute left, and they give it to Jalen Green, and he's got Jimmy Butler on him, and you're like, yep, this is gonna work.
This is such a Bill Simmons theorization, and I
don't
love
know.
it.
Yeah. I guess like it does feel a little bit like the year that the Warriors played the Kings, but the Warriors came out like barely.
They won that one in 7.
They won that one in 7, but it's a few years later, and
it also
I feel-
took a superhuman performance from Steph in that
Exactly.
game 7.
So I don't know.
mean-
I'm just gonna. It feels like a coin flip, and again, I'm wearing a Rockets jersey. That's enough for me to be like,
Fair enough.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I don't
do-
think these Rockets aren't scared, man. I think they're
Okay.
ready to win
I
this
like that.
series. I think
I
they're
like
ready
that.
to win this series. And Ennis Esmer has the Rockets winning it all, so I gotta back
okay.
my guy.
Shout out
Well-
Ennis Esmer.
I guess the Warriors are going through then. Not Ennis going all in and getting called on.
God, another apology coming. All right. So last series in the West, still to be determined. It'll be OKC as the number 1 seed, taking on the Grizzlies or the Nico Mavericks. So I guess the biggest question is just, I guess 2 questions. Number 1, what do you think will be the better matchup? And number 2, like, what do you want to see from OKC in this first round?
Okay, I would say the better matchup for me will be the Mavericks. I just want to see how the Thunder manage Dallas's size. I think that I mean, if you watch the Mavericks now, which very few people do, but because the Raptors played Dallas in Game 81, and also because I watched the play-in game, so I actually did watch a lot of recent Mavs, and it's like it's a lot of AD running the whole offense. Like they're using AD in the middle of the floor. He's creating. Sometimes he's a point guard. Like it's kind of like he's like their Jokic in a way. If Jokic played with like a center as well.
Did you tell me Nico acquired his own Jokic?
A Jokic who plays defense, man.
Holy.
That's why he traded Luka.
An in shape Nikola Jokic?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily. I wouldn't tout AD's health, but no, I think that presents some unique challenges. I think OKC does have size, but it's not like. I would say neither one of Hartenstein or Chet Holmgren are like ideal matchups to like just stick against AD. Like Holmgren, I feel like is a better weak side help shot, a shot blocker, and so I wouldn't necessarily put him on the ball or the guy who has the ball the most. So to put him, and then Hartenstein has the size to bang with AD, but AD is gonna have like the perimeter ability, the fact that he likes to dribble around, and sometimes he can shoot it well. So that could be a unique matchup just for the size alone. Memphis, I just have no faith in. Ja's ankle, we saw him roll that ankle pretty badly in the play-in game. Every time they pan over to that coach Thomas Asalo, I just don't know. Like, he just doesn't give me a confident like vibe. I don't know what to say, but he's got like the opposite of whatever Ime has. And I think that like I just have seen so much of Memphis in the playoffs, and every year I walk away disgusted with like, why do you make so many rookie mistakes? Like every year for Memphis in the playoffs looks like it's the first time they've ever made the playoffs. So I would probably rather see a Mavs Thunder series. I think for the OKC Thunder, I just want you to see like I guess I want to see them play with poise.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like just take care of the business the way you should. Like this series should be a 4-game sweep. Like if you're a 68 win team against either the 10th seed in Mavericks or Grizzlies team that is like ready to walk off because they just fired their coach and everything like that, right? So you should just take care of business. I just don't want to see any sort of signs of sloppiness or anything else.
Yeah, I don't think this round is going to be too much of an issue for the Thunder. So I'm with you. Depending on whoever they face, I've got OKC to sweep the first round.
Damn. You as an OKC hater? Jalen Williams is a number 2 option?
Yeah, it can be a number 2 option in a low pressure environment like a first round. Yeah.
Wow.
I do like that people really were convinced in the chat that Alex was going to pick the other team
because I hate OKC.
Yeah. Which is like
I hate OKC.
You don't hate OKC. You just don't feel they're gonna. You have them as a second round exit.
Have the Clippers and Lakers in the conference finals if we were to extend this.
Yeah. I'm giving whoever the opponent one game. Just because for this, like a lot of the reasons that you mentioned, Will, in terms of we really need to see for sure if OKC has that poise. I think Gibbs at least the edge to not be able to sweep a series yet.
Okay.
I like. Gut feels like they should sweep, but at this point, I don't know. OKC's kind of at least not shaky in the way that like I see them exiting early, but like that they might not just like run through. So
sure. I think also, I mean, if it is going to be Dallas, and we'll see that tonight between the two, that you know who's going to win. But like, if it is Dallas, like. You know, I think if the recipe for them to pull off one upset, like literally one win, would be
win one for Nico.
Exactly.
They shut off the paint
for that,
right? I think they can't shut off the paint. Like you have AD, and then you have another like shot blocking center, whether it's Lively or Gafford. Like you can realistically shut off the paint, and then you can maybe get hot from 3. You know, Klay Thompson. Sometimes you know he can go. You go 0 for 10 or you go 10 for 10. You just never know, right?
Still gravy, man. Yeah.
Brandon Williams. You know, you guys know about Brandon Williams? I feel like he was pretty good recently.
Alex is barely thinking about Jalen Williams. So.
Yeah. What if Brandon Williams is the best Williams in this series for
Dallas
one game?
Dallas not going to give nobody any problems, man. OKC is going to be fine.
that team is not.
OKC is going to be completely fine. But it will be funny if they win one game and apparently, according to my pick, the Lakers lose a series. I think Nico is really going to put up a banner for one win.
Yeah, this
and a
is
Lakers loss.
This is looking bright for Nico in Jerome's world, man.
Yeah.
All right, on to the Eastern Conference. Let's open with the Pacers, Bucks. It is the 4-5 matchup. The Pacers have been one of the best teams in the East for like the last 2-3 months now. Damian Lillard yesterday reported was cleared of his blood thinning medication. He's back working out, resuming contact in practice, contact work in practice, ramping up for a return. He's going to be out for game 1. Possibly could see him come back in this series. Yeah, who's your most intriguing player in this series? It's Giannis trying to carry the Bucks over this Pacers team.
Yeah, first off, I hope Dame is not just rushing back, or I hope the Bucks aren't just rushing him back.
Yeah, you would hope they trust. You know, the doctors are obviously being safe about this, etc.
Yeah, look, it's one thing if you rush back from like a sprained ankle or whatever. It's like the risk is like you re-sprain the ankle, or maybe worse. You know what I mean? But like ultimately, I don't. It's so scary to play about blood clots, man. Like if you have blood, I mean, I'm sure the treatment has improved since even like let's say 10 years ago when something like this ended Chris Bosh's career. But it's like, it's just really scary, man. It's just really scary. So I'm hoping that, I mean, I think he's got number one be taken off of blood thinners and he's got to be okay and they got to monitor him. Like there's a whole process and I'm sure they'll be safe. There's so many liabilities involved, let alone the fact that like we're talking about a human being and their health. But I just hope that Dame is actually okay. First and foremost, and that he's okay in time to play in this series. Aside from that, though, my most intriguing player is Kyle Kuzma.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Here's the thing. My question with Kyle Kuzma, and it has been this ever since he got traded to Milwaukee, is can Kyle Kuzma play serious basketball again? Kyle Kuzma has not been on a serious basketball team in a long time, right? Like, towards the end of the Lakers' tenure, that was not a serious team. Then he goes to Washington. That team is the most unserious team. Him and, Jordan Poole. It's crazy because this year, if you ask any Wizards fan, they will tell you that Jordan Poole, it's not fair to lump him with Kyle Kuzma anymore.
Yeah,
Because even Jordan Poole matured out of being an unserious basketball player to being like an okay basketball player. Like, he still is unserious sometimes, but like he's made a lot of good plays. Like, honestly, Jordan Poole's had a good year. Kyle Kuzma stayed the same. This guy's 29 years old. He's played like 10 years in the league almost. Like, it's like you're now in a situation where the team needs you, especially if Dame's not playing game 1, maybe he's not playing game 2. Who is, like, it can't just be Brook Lopez and Giannis, man. That's a crazy combo in any sort of series. Like, you actually need Kyle to, like, perform. And if you watch Milwaukee, like, they'll put him on the toughest opponents, man. Like, they'll, you know what I mean? Like, I think the ideal outcome for a series like this is if he can, like, reasonably stick with Pascal, and that frees up Giannis to play more help defense or just take some pressure off of him because he's going to take so much of the burden offensively. The thing is, it's Kyle Kuzma, and I just cannot trust him, man. I'm sorry. This guy plays too much unserious basketball, but this might be his last chance more than anything else. I think offensively, Kyle can score, and I think Indiana's defense, even though they've improved this season, like they're not, as bad as last year, let's say, it still feels like it's gettable. Like, they're not necessarily strong in terms of, like, guarding against these big perimeter players with some size who can post up a little bit. So I'm just hoping for Kyle's sake that, like, just please fix up and actually play well, because I actually would love to see a long series of these two teams. This should be
I think depending, assuming Dame doesn't come back, the Bucks are gonna need like at least 2 or 3 of their role players to go like super nuclear.
Dude, the chat is saying that people need Kevin Porter Jr. And honestly, Kevin Porter Jr. has played decently for the Bucks in terms of like creating offense, getting his own offense, running some offense in the second unit. Sometimes it's like him and Giannis out there, and KPJ actually has the ball instead of Giannis, which is I always find kind of interesting. He's like shifty.
What a tough supporting cast.
But that's what I'm
Milwaukee.
saying. That's
Who else do they have? They got this guy Ryan freaking Rollins.
Rollins, baby, come on now.
Yeah, Ryan Rollins.
Ryan Rollins, Jimmy Rollins.
Hey, Alex, great reference there with the Ryan freaking Rollins.
Okay.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro.
Didn't even know that was a reference.
I did it yesterday too on the Scores Unfiltered show, and it was crickets.
Once again, Jericho Sims. There's some Andre Jackson Jr.
Yeah. Oh man, Jericho Sims.
Oh man, Alex, 2 for 2 on wrestling references. Good for you, buddy.
Anyways, out of respect to Giannis, because he's been putting up ridiculous numbers, I am gonna, Pacers are the better team, but I'm gonna take the series to go 7.
Wow.
I think I've got the Pacers in 7, but Giannis can win a couple games by himself here. But just look at the rest of that roster. Where's Gary Trent Jr. at?
Oh, he plays. Yeah, Gary Trent's there too. All right. Gary's there. I mean, yeah, I think I went with Indiana as well. I'm surprised you gave him 7 because, like, I think none of us really fully believe in the Bucks. Maybe if Dame comes back, I think I'm kind of pricing that in a little bit, and that maybe swings. I mean, it should swing. Dame's great, but like, I think ultimately Pacers are actually just straight up a better team than the Bucks.
I respect Giannis that much to give him a long series.
Yeah, Jerome, what you got?
Pacers in 6.
In 6, they're gonna walk into Pfizer form. Take that ball.
Get a vaccine. God, man.
Is that what they're about? Okay.
Playing the Moderna NBA.
Oh my God.
You do see some Moderna ads in NBA games, man.
You got a problem with that?
No, not at all. Wait, actually, not at all. What do you mean, man? They're a company and they advertise. It's all right.
Just kind of trying to catch you, get you in trouble, bro. All right, we got the Pacers. So it's
booster.
It's Pacers gang over here. Next up,
Pacers gang. What's their hashtag? Like, what's their We the North? Like,
I don't know, man. Yeah,
Pacer up,
Pacer gang. Next up, the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons will face off. It's 3-6 matchup here. Pistons first time in the playoffs since 2018. Who is your most intriguing player in this matchup?
Most intriguing player for me is Cade Cunningham in this matchup, which is crazy because, like, obviously he needs to be incredible, and I think that's kind of the point, right? Like, I think when a young player is able to lead let's be honest. You look at the rest of the Pistons, as much as they've, punched above their weight, it's like when you look at the names on paper, it looks nuts. Like it's like, Tobias Harris, it's Tim Hardaway Jr., it's like Simone Fontecchio, it's Malik Beasley, it's Marcus Sasser. It's like it doesn't even look like a playoff roster, right? And yet because of the ability of Cade and I guess the players and how much they gel together, like they are in this position where they played great all season. I think they actually won the season series here 3-1 against the Knicks too. I think for me, it's like when you see a young player, arrive for the playoffs for the first time and sort of like carry the team into this jump. My question is just basically like not necessarily can he win the series, but how great of a player is he going to become? Like if he has a great statement series, this one where he's getting guarded by two premium defenders in OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, and he's still able to put up the numbers and he's still able to go into a hostile environment like MSG and actually come out with results. That to me will determine basically, it's like, is he going to be a perennial all-star? Is he going to be a perennial all-NBA team guy? Is he going to be a first-team all-NBA type of guy? Is this a guy that we now have to count for, especially as a Raptor fan in the Eastern Conference? Are we going to have to count for him as basically like one of the top 2-3 players in the conference? Like, is he going to be making that type of jump in the future? And I think right now I still don't fully know because I still have my reservations. I still feel like there's certain things with Cade where I think the efficiency isn't particularly strong, but at the same time, like when you watch the games and you see the ability for him to score, he's able to use his size. He's a big guard. He's a great passer as well. 9 assists this year, which is really good. He's able to score at all 3 levels, even though the efficiency, again, ultimately isn't that great. But, look at the pieces around him. I think for me, I'm just really curious to see how Cade looks like under the microscope.
Yeah, no, I think, the Knicks obviously built this team to have a couple of great perimeter defenders, or supposedly great perimeter defenders, with Mikal Bridges and OG. But, it feels like in the matchups this year, I think it's the last time they played too, like Cade didn't really have any problems, regardless of who they were throwing at him. Weirdly, too, the Knicks come in, I think, like as the team maybe with like the most pressure in the Eastern Conference, just based on like the way the team was put together. And the expectations. And yeah, no, I really respect this Detroit team on Betway right now because the matchup starts tomorrow, first game at Madison Square Garden. The Pistons to upset the Knicks in game 1 is a 3.40 odd. And you know what? I like the Pistons. I like the Pistons to go in there and make a statement. I like the Pistons to go in there and make a statement.
That's what they need. They need to take game 1.
I need that. I need that Malik Beasley shimmy right in front of Spike Lee, Action Bronson, and Jason Sudeikis, and 2 members of the Sopranos cast.
Well, this ain't a Liberty game, so I don't know if they'll pan to Jason Sudeikis every 2 seconds. They're like, hey, did you know Jason Sudeikis is here? I'm like, yes.
Put him in row 9, man.
God damn, man. What are you going to show me next? Clear Sigh?
Oh, no. So, yeah, Pistons. I like the Knicks in this series. I think ultimately, like, their talent is going to win out. But I think Pistons are going to give them a fight. So I like the Pistons to win game 1. Tomorrow, if you want to pick that upset, make sure you hit the QR code below and check out all your basketball betting odds on Betway. It's 3.40 for the Pistons upset. But yeah, I've got the Knicks winning in 6, but I think it's gonna be a tougher series than maybe some people expect.
Yeah, I actually got the Knicks in 7. I just don't see the Knicks. If they had more depth or if they were more solid defensively, I think I would probably more confidently pick them in a shorter series. I still think confidently that the Knicks will win the series, even though I'm picking them in 7. But I think ultimately for me, Detroit, they're riding a high all season. I don't feel like you should discount what they can do. I think they have an advantage, especially the size, too. I think the other player you could have easily picked for most intriguing is Cat. Cat's another guy where it's like playoffs-wise, man. Like, roller coaster experience, even last year. Real roller coaster, man. He was a hero in the Denver series, and then against the Mavs, it just didn't look great. So, yeah, I think Detroit has a lot going for them, and honestly, I will be rooting for the underdog. And even though it's just a 3-6 series, they feel like a crazy big underdog, and they shouldn't be. Like they are a really fun team to watch. They play with huge pride. Tobias Harris, big bounce back moment in the playoffs. Tobias Harris over me. Well, yeah, that was a bad decision, but Tobias Harris. After Philly, it's still a bit of a problem. So I'll be rooting for the Pistons, and then I'll be rooting for the Knicks, actually. I'm going to switch allegiances as soon as the series is over.
Okay.
Nice.
What about you, Jerome? Who you got in this
First
battle?
off, I looked it up. For the Indiana Pacers, I don't know if it's their We the North, but their hashtag this year is yes sirs.
No way.
Come on,
I
man.
haven't seen this one time on the timeline, man.
Yo, I need Kalen Cooper to start hashtagging that, man.
Kayla
Oh,
Cooper and Samson Folk aren't hashtagging yes sirs,
yes,
man. No
sirs.
way.
Yes,
Yo,
sirs.
I will be making use of that in the first round.
No way. So it's gonna be the graphic of like Pacers advance into round 2. Hashtag
Yo.
yes sir.
Sirs.
Nemhard for 3. Yes, sirs.
Yo,
Oh
no
no.
way. Pascal spin move. Yes sir.
I'm gonna last minute switch my unofficial pick to Bucks in 7.
Oh boy.
I cannot root for a team
Do
whose
I need to
hashtag is
update your bracket?
no,
Are you
no,
taking-
no. Keep
No,
the
no.
bracket, but I cannot root for a team with an official hashtag. Yes, sirs.
Yes,
Yes
sir.
sir.
Oh,
My
no.
body. Yo. Sorry.
Oh my god.
As for my pick, maybe a little too confident, but it always feels like with the Knicks, their best bet at making any noise these days is in the first round. So I'm going to let him have the first round in 5.
Let's go.
Nice.
5.
Nice. Yeah,
Nice.
so it's a Knicks gang over here, but deep respect.
What's the Knicks hashtag now?
I'll go look that up.
Yeah,
you guys.
deep-
We might have to look up the whole team's, every team's hashtag, because now
Oh,
everyone's
goodness.
under investigation because of yes sirs.
Deep respect for the Pistons. All right, last 2 series here.
Mm.
Let's spend 2 minutes on each of these. Celtics, Magic. I think the biggest concern for Boston is Jaylen Brown's health. He got an injection in his knee. Looks like he'll be ready to play, but this is obviously more of a long-term
Mm-hmm.
thing to monitor as they move on in this series and in the playoffs. What do you want to say about the Orlando Magic?
Yeah, for people listening and not watching, I just yawned. This is what
Yeah.
this is the type of series this inspires.
Jan Mahimi.
Yeah, honestly, man.
You don't even have to pick an intriguing player. Man, I see Anthony Black on this Google Doc. What are we doing?
I think the Magic are just like, I mean, first off, they're starting Corey Joseph, which is crazy, man. I mean, shouts to Corey Joseph. I haven't seen that man start a playoff game since Kyle Lowry got injured in 2017.
Don't forget who broke the news that Corey Joseph was signing with the Magic at Summer League.
That was actually us. That was actually
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah, we did see
It
them
wasn't
sitting-
us. It was me. Yeah.
Okay, it was you. It was you sitting alongside of Jamal Mosley.
You were like, this tweet is gonna not get 100 likes for sure. And then I went around the media roll begging for retweets. I was like, yo, Grange, man, hit that CanCon.
I think the actual comparison was what's going to perform better on Twitter. Was it going to be a picture of Corey Joseph potentially signing with the Magic because they were sitting with the Magic? Or if it was Joe Wolfond eating Gylon courtside at Cox Pavilion?
And Wolfon coming off a blackjack L took another L.
Oh, brother. I think they're just not dynamic, man. They're just not dynamic to watch, the Magic. Like they on paper, you're like, okay, they got the size, they got the perimeter players. I'm not doubting what Paolo can do. I'm not doubting what Franz Wagner can do, but it's not a given. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like with Cade, where it's like, Cade's gonna run the show and he's gonna play offense and he's gonna score and he's just gonna score multiple different levels. I just feel like both of those guys lack that sort of like point guard sense, and it's so sexy now to have point forwards. Like the Raptors, for example, we're trying to do the same thing with Scotty, right? We're like trying to like force him. And Scotty actually has way more of a point guard sense as compared to like Franz or Paolo. Those guys are just straight up forwards for me. And I would prefer if they didn't have the ball as much and if like a point guard could actually get them set up. That's honestly how they should play when they have Jalen Suggs. Obviously, Suggs is out. Also, shouts to Jalen Suggs for Dalen Haley Van Lyth, man. Like this guy, it's incredible stuff for Jalen. But like, I think for me, that's why I kind of picked Cole Anthony and Anthony Black, because if you watch that play-in game, which I know very few people were like, oh, wow, Orlando versus Atlanta play-in game, let me tap into this. But like that one, the difference makers were Cole Anthony and Anthony Black, because they actually had some pace, some speed, somebody to organize the offense, somebody to actually, create something that isn't just so static and just basically 1-on-5, which is kind of how Paolo plays a lot of the time. So, yeah, I that's kind of it though. I mean, Celtics in 4, bro.
All right, yeah, I'll go Celtics in 5. I'll give Orlando 1 game.
Really?
Yeah. So, Jerome.
Celtics in 4.
Yeah.
Celtics in 4.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown, buddy, just set out the whole series, man. Just rest that knee the whole series.
Yeah, he could probably do that and still be
Yeah.
Celtics in 4. God.
I'm not even kidding. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not watching this series.
me neither.
Yeah, I have a rule for these series in that these ones I'm not watching unless it's like 2-2.
No, you got to prioritize sometimes because like a lot of the times like you'll have multiple games on the same night, and if there's any other game on, I'm probably not watching Celtics Magic.
Yeah, I think of all the series though, like all the West series have my attention, even OKC, because I want to see how they're gonna play. And really in the East, I think Pacers Bucks will be fun. Knicks Pistons will be fun.
Yeah.
But Celtics Magic is not for me, and probably this next series to the Cavs as the number 1 seed against either Miami or Atlanta. Yeah, give me 2 minutes on this, boss.
Yo,
Who the hell is Craig Porter?
Sorry, there's something so funny about seeing Heat or Hawks down there. Heat or Hawks, who cares?
Yo, get rid of the play-in, man.
Yo, by the way, if we combine the best players on the Hawks with the best player on the Heats, are they the combined Heat Hawks? Can they beat the Cavs? I think still no, man.
Trae Young, Tyler Hero, Bam. Who else we got? Who else we getting?
That's still not better than the Cavs.
Oh my god!
You put Dyson Daniels and his deflections on there.
Oh my god!
Who else, man? By the way, Dyson Daniels, man. This was pointed out to me by, I guess somebody who covers the Hawks. I'm not like sort of like exposed, but like we were in Atlanta for those 2 games when the Raptors were down in Atlanta, so I got a chance to talk to some people there. And Dyson Daniels is getting a lot. Like he was like sexy blogger pick as well. Like he's top 5. Amon Thompson, I think, has clearly surpassed him on the season. But they were pointing out that like, okay, yes, like Dyson Daniels does a lot of great stuff defensively. In terms of deflections, he like led the league by a mile in steals. I even saw some defensive player of the year pub for him. But like as a pure stopper, in terms of just like forget like getting the steal, just stopping a guy 1-on-1, he's not nearly at that level. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't say he's a top 5 perimeter stopper. Disruptor, yes. But then I think the other thing too they pointed out was just he's so tentative on offense. And the more I watch them, I'm like, he has the ball. Trae Young's begging for anyone else to create a play because Jalen Johnson's out. And he has the ball a lot as a guard. He drives in and he just like shies away so often. It's a bad habit. Like I would love to see him.
He's shy Gilgeous Alexander.
he don't even compare him to no Gilgeous Alexander.
Womp.
Yeah, no, but I think I mean the Cavs in 4, bro.
Yeah, Cavs in 4.
Cavs
in 4. What the hell is this Craig Porter note? What do you have, Jerome, in this series?
I'll give the opponent 1 game again. Why not?
Yeah.
I have no reason. Just
Okay, so
right,
Cavs in 5.
But I did go through, not including the playing teams. I found whoever had a hashtag, so I'm going to just go through some of those for you. First off, the New York Knicks. New York
Okay,
forever.
I like this.
Solid.
Okay. All right.
I like it.
Solid.
New York forever. I like
the
it.
Clippers, we have Clipper Nation.
Of
pretty
course,
normal.
man.
Wait,
Let's
who's
go.
texting the Clippers?
That part I just needed you to see more than the actual hashtag.
Yo, can we text this number after every Clipper game?
Yo, man.
High 5. Yeah.
Unbelievable, man. All right.
The Lakers, Lake Show.
Of course.
Normal.
Yeah, nice.
Classic.
Warriors, Dub Nation.
Yeah,
classic,
okay.
classic.
So they're all starting to be the same.
OKC Thunder, Thunder Up.
Oh, that's been a while. Yeah, Thunder
That's
Up's
been
been
a
there for a while.
That's
Yeah,
a
no
classic.
titles beside Thunder Up, man. So that's a tough one.
Yeah,
Yes,
Thunder
rough.
up.
The Bucks, Fear the Deer.
Oh,
classic.
still. Okay.
2-time
still.
champions, bro. Come on, man. I mean, yeah, I guess they are. Yeah, they are. If you go back to the 50s.
Okay, now this one here, I want you to guess before we go into it. What do you think the Celtics are? I can't even. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Well, last time it was Cuss Cries, right? See Us Rise.
Oh, is that what it was? It's not that anymore.
Was it
Alex, do you have
bleed
any ideas?
green? Yeah, we bleed green. I don't know.
We hurt people. No.
Is it America First?
No, it's not. All right, here we go. Different.
Oh
year.
yeah, it is different. Oh my god. Oh, trust me.
Yo.
Trust me. Anybody who's been to Boston, it's different. It's different here.
Different here.
Oh, it's different here, man.
Oh,
Different here. It's crazy.
Yo.
Okay.
Damn.
What do they mean by
damn.
that? No, I should. When people say they're different, I need to know what the difference is. You know what I mean? That should be
Right,
the follow up
right.
question.
It's
Is
a
what
Mark
is different?
Wahlberg ass hashtag, man.
Oh,
It's
man.
different here.
You don't
Oh,
allow no
man.
different here.
Oh my god.
That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
nothing is topping. Yes. What is it? Yes, sir.
Yeah. And then finally, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let him know.
Let them know.
Wait, they have a title. Why did they put their title in the bio, man?
Defend the land was better or whatever. when they had
Defend the land.
in.
Defend the land. Yeah.
When they
But
had the
yeah, I
land
think
in.
our favorite is always gonna be the yes.
Yeah,
sirs.
yes, sirs, and different here is a close
Yo,
second for me.
what do the Charlotte Hornets have and the Washington Wizards, man? I feel like Utah Jazz. Take note. Is that take note?
Yeah, take note. I always like.
Take
that's
note is
good.
cheeky. Take note
No,
is
take
still
note
cheeky.
is take note
Jazz,
is really
yeah.
Yeah,
good.
Pelicans.
Sorry. Hashtag sorry. Sorry 2000. Ruben stuttered.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
God.
Yeah,
Portland
team-
Trailblazers notice us, senpai. You know what I mean?
Team-
Like just like begging people to watch.
Team slogans are amazing, man. All right, what's this CanCon and the rest of the stuff you got?
Okay, well,
Oh,
first
Well,
off,
actually, yeah.
let's
Before
show our
we,
brackets first, man.
Yeah, so let's go through
let's
everyone's
go
brackets.
To Will's first. 1 sec. I'm just gonna clear this out for us. But yes, let's go to Will's first. Here we go. Will's picks. Will, do you want to go through that?
I got OKC over whoever in 4. I got Nuggets over Clippers in 5, which is or no, sorry, I got Clippers over Nuggets in 5, which is kind of a bold pick, probably my boldest pick. But I've somehow decided I'm gonna really believe in James Harden in this series. Famous last words. Lakers in 7 over the Timberwolves. That should be a really, really fun series. And I got the Golden State Warriors beating the Rockets in 6. I feel like Steph Curry's had a lot of good moments in Houston, and this will be yet another edition of that. He's actually dominated them across 2 different iterations of the team now, which is pretty incredible. Over in the Eastern Conference, Cleveland in 4 over Heat/Hawks. It doesn't even matter. You can combine you can make a super team of Heat and Hawks players.
What do you have them in a super team matchup?
Cavs in 4-5. Cavs in 5. Cavs in 5. Yeah, it's gonna be a generational Dyson Daniels deflections and Bam Adebayo protecting the rim performance to get 1 game. Indiana is gonna take it in 7 over Milwaukee. Dame, just please be okay. New York Knicks in 7 over the Pistons. That should be one of the best series. Honestly, I'm hoping it's gonna be a repeat of last year's series. Basically, what the Knicks played against the Sixers, because that was for me the most entertaining series in any of the playoff rounds last year. And then Boston in 4 over the Magic. This should be on NBA TV. This should be on ESPNU. This should be on NBA. Yeah, I don't even know, man. NBA TV Canada. NBA TV alone isn't enough, man. I need to see this alongside of Open Gym reruns, man. This should be beside Raptors in 30. Like,
Screen it with We the North, man.
There you go. And then the Knicks won in 7. All right, on to Alex's picks. Alex.
Yeah, Thunder sweep, Clippers in 6 over Denver, Lakers in 6 over the Wolves, Houston over the Warriors, Cavs sweep, Pacers over the Bucks, yes sirs, in 7.
yes, sir, in 7.
Knicks, New York forever over the Pistons 4-2. Boston, different here, 4-1 over the Magic.
All right, and let me load mine up. Okay, so I got OKC in 5, Clippers in 6. I think I'm the only one who has Minnesota in 6.
Adam Silver's worst nightmare.
You should have Silver in the back committing seppuku. He's going to hashtag seppuku.
And in case you thought you have Steph Curry as well, no, I have the Rockets in 7.
Yeah, actually, I would love to see Silver's reaction.
No sirs.
Oh, no, sirs.
Timberwolves, Rockets. Oh.
Cleveland in 5, yes,
Yep.
sirs in 6,
Yes, sir.
Knicks in 5, and Boston in 4.
There we go.
Different here. Yeah, so what we'll do is for each of our picks will be worth 2 points if we get the right pick.
Okay.
And then a bonus 1 point if we pick it in the exact number of games.
And 1.
Yeah, and then let's each right now in each conference make your lock. So that lock will be worth double the points.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the
Interesting.
East, in the West, which one is your lock? You could potentially score double points.
Oh, man. I mean, can I lock OKC winning?
I guess so. This is fun though.
Wait. Lock has to be just winning the series or winning and
No, so whichever lock you pick. So like if he picks OKC and they win, instead of 2 points, he gets 4 points.
Yeah, I'm locking OKC.
and if they sweep and he hits the exact, he gets 2 points. For
This
that.
is a stupid premise because I'm locking Boston in the second one too.
God, man, you're no fun, man.
All right,
so
Alex, what's your lock?
Okay, I'm gonna lock the Clippers, and I'm gonna lock Boston. I should have made this a draft.
Yeah, honestly, that would have been better. It's okay. Impromptu here.
For Nico, and I'm sorry, Adam, I'm gonna lock Minnesota.
Oh, love it, man.
Why
Wow.
not? And then on the East end, I'll lock the Knicks.
I like calling these conferences the East End and the West End.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
I like that, man. You tasting the Danforth, or you coming to Oktoberfest?
Oh
man?
my god. All right.
Goodness.
What else you got here? You got some CanCon for me or something?
Well, guys,
Okay.
I wanted to know which former Raptors are you pulling for in these playoffs? And this
Okay.
is certainly not a contrived video, potentially for social.
Thank
This
you.
is which former Raptors are you pulling for the most in the playoffs? Some of the candidates, Fred VanVleet, obviously with the Houston Rockets, Norman Powell with the LA Clippers, OG Anunoby with the New York Knicks, Pascal Siakam with the Indiana Pacers. Yes, sir. Kawhi Leonard also with the LA Clippers, Gary Trent Jr. with the Milwaukee Bucks, Davion Mitchell with the Miami Heat, potentially. He's got to win a play-in game tonight. Brandon Carlson with OKC, Alex Len with the Lakers, Corey Joseph with the Magic. I guess my first question to you is, which one of these former Raptors is going to make it the farthest for you guys?
Kawhi and Norm.
Really? More than Brandon Carlson?
Yeah. Kawhi.
More
and
than
Norm
Alex
Clippers.
Len? Come on, man.
Oh yeah, well actually Alex Len if you're talking, because I do have Lakers Celtics as my final. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Traditional.
It's different
Jerome,
here.
who are you pulling for the most?
It's you guys know he's my favorite player, so I'm always pulling for Kawhi. It's not even
Man.
It's not even so much that he's a former Raptor as much as I just love Kawhi, so I'm always pulling for him.
Yeah, I'm going with Kawhi too. As much as we talked about last time wanting Masai to win another championship, I also want Kawhi to win another championship. So
Wow. Do you think Kawhi's going to react more emotionally with the Clippers one or the Raptors
yeah,
one?
5-5s, man. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
goodness, man.
Yeah, he might just because of how
A
much he's had to go
bomb
through to get back, but I don't see him reacting any differently. I think he just like, yeah, I won.
I feel like he might show some emotions. Like,
think
it's
so?
Been, it's been a tough few years for him,
It has
Yeah,
been,
it's
man.
like with injuries and things like that. So, but I mean,
I
we're
mean,
talking.
the Raptors win was also like he went
Yeah,
through an
we're-
entire
we're-
Spurs
we are
season.
talking about a Kawhi level of like emotional explosion. So
yeah.
let's temper our expectations.
Yeah. He's
Kawhi
shown
wins and
emotion
he's
in
like,
each of
yes,
those
sir.
games.
He's like, here's another deep fried photo of me on Twitter.
Oh, man. Here's me visiting Trump at the White House.
Oh no!
Nick Batum is fried in the background.
Oh man, yeah. So yeah, Kawhi Leonard
How about you,
is,
Will?
is our pick.
Man. I mean, the thing is, obviously, shouts to Davion Mitchell, Brandon Carlson, Alex Len, and Corey Joseph, but like,
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
nah. Brandon Carlson doesn't even count. He was only with the Raptors in summer league and
Yeah.
training camp. Someone, by the way, in the chat was like, why do we let go of Brandon Carlson? Guys, he's 25. Like, let's just let him have a good run with OKC. It was never really ours to begin with. Honestly, I'm you know what? I'm rooting for OG, actually. The reason I'm rooting
Yeah,
for
that
OG
was my other
is
pick.
the other ones here all got to experience playing on a championship. Gary's excluded and Corey Joseph excluded. But, like, of our 2019 champions, OG was the one guy who couldn't play. And so I could even tell that even at the parade, OG wasn't as much into it as maybe the other guys were. And, of course, it's totally different. You know what I mean? He got the ring won for him. He hasn't won the ring. I mean, the Knicks probably aren't going to win the championship anytime soon. But if anyone deserves to put on that ring, OG Anunoby plays the right way. He's been a breakout. I would say probably like the second or third most popular Knick. So, shouts to OG, man. Go out there and get your second ring, but the first one where you actually play.
Of all the like playoff or championship players like from the Raptors, he's the one who like really needs playoff moments too.
Well, I mean, he
He
got,
got his
the-
bubble.
He got
his
the
bubble
bubble
shot.
thing, but
But
I-
even that was
I
a
guess,
little
like,
bit
playoff-
tainted with no fans.
Yeah, I would say maybe
Wow.
maybe not moments, but
You weren't
like,
there on Zoom?
like performances, like just someone to like really be acknowledged as like a key player. Yeah, that OG's my other guy outside of Kawhi.
There you go. A lot of former Raptors to root for here. And I guess I'll save my other surprise segment for a different episode because this one's run long enough. I think so. What's our plan? The next episode we'll do Monday night.
Oh, I have a couple of surprises for you.
Yeah.
Oh.
We still got to talk about a few things. But
Okay,
yes.
well, the first one here, this is just very random. but
Okay, I'll
you
save this for
guys-
Monday then because I wanted to know basically which disgruntled stars that are out of the playoffs that you would scoop up. But I think by the time the play-in ends, I think there might be some more names to add to this list. But go ahead.
You guys were talking about the. Oh, let me remove this. The Ernst & Young logo.
Bro, that's fire, man. Look at that thing.
Iconic.
And just because I thought it might be fun, what if we made our own Hello and Welcome alternate?
Yo.
I need that.
Yeah,
I
we're
need-
gonna have to make that.
I need both logos on this.
Yo, this guy wants a resume. It's crazy, man.
This is like this is the Alex Wong like former life edition. Hello,
Yo,
welcome.
this is so fire, man. Holy
Yeah.
The black and white is actually pretty nice, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I
Only
mean, shouts to
get
Rookie
have
Made
it.
for making the logo, and it was great the first time, but ooh,
Yeah.
no,
Swap up that font.
Love that. Love that.
that's like a bat signal, man.
Yeah.
They're like,
And,
we need a slander pod. Put out the hello and welcome.
So last night, Jerome and I got to go to friend of the program, Ennis Esmer's place to watch live his appearance on Law and Order Toronto. It was a great time. He had a lot of his friends over. Craig and Ivy from Patois. June Plum was there too, because in the show, Ennis in one of the scenes is wearing the June Plum sweater that I know
Nice.
you own as well.
I bought that one too,
Will?
by the way. You know,
Okay.
just no. We receive a lot of free stuff from our friends, and it's great. But
No,
I love June Plum so much. I was like, let me get
Will
that sweater
always-
too, man.
Will always gives back to the community, man. With
Absolutely.
time, with dollars, yeah. like
Well, not always with
everything.
dollars. I mean, time, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, we. So you haven't seen the episode, Will?
I have not yet seen the episode.
Yeah. So
of-
I don't. How should we even tee this up, Jerome? We have a little surprise for Will, right?
Yeah, we do have a surprise for Will. I mean, first off, I think it's really nice, showing or getting to see a friend of yours like in the credits as they
hell yeah.
appear on is really great. So let's just show you first Ennis's player
Yo.
card as he lies dead
Spoilers.
in Rogers Center.
Wait,
it's not a spoiler. Like
Wait,
it's in the
is
preview
that
he
is
dies.
that what his chest looks like?
Yeah. It's not.
his
It's not a
chest?
body double.
This is George Springer and Boba Fett in the wild card game from 3 years ago.
Yo,
Yeah.
yo, what's going on, man?
And I know
Yo,
how excited Ennis was, being a huge Jays fan, to be able to
Yeah, yeah.
record this episode at the Rogers Center.
I don't know. This feels like a really cool title card. Like,
Yo,
like it's just you, like your character lying dead while you have your name flash on the screen.
Yeah, it's definitely
But-
a lot better than showing up in We the North in a blank mesh hat.
come on, man.
Streaming now on Crave.
Yeah.
And then Ennis's character died in Rogers Center.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so-
that's awesome. It looks
but-
cinematic, man. This is a really
Oh, it
well
looks
lit, actually. For the lighting. Shouts to the gaffer, man. Who was the gaffer on this, man?
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. We don't have that answer for you.
Okay,
All right.
fine.
Well, the thing that we actually do want to show you is Ennis is in a couple of different scenes,
Mm-hmm.
and his character in the show he is a comedian, a bit of a like
The best
Controversial
comedian
comedian?
in the country.
best
Wow.
comedian in the country, a bit of a controversial comedian, but he's come up to such a point
Okay.
that he is going to play Rogers Center, which is where during rehearsal he dies. But there is a scene, a really cool scene, where he is setting up and figuring out like some logistics for it, including, just like guests that are coming, things like that. So we just
Yeah,
want to
Guest
show
list.
you
Yeah.
a guest list. We want to show you that scene.
What's going on with the floor seats?
They're being set up later tonight.
Okay, and for VIP, I would like Mom, Dad, Amy, Alex, Will.
Yo,
That's pretty sick, eh?
Yo, I'm in the Law and Order. It's universe. That's amazing.
Let's play
Yeah.
that one more time. Let's play that one more time.
Oh my god.
Hey, what's going on with the floor seats?
They're being set up later tonight.
Okay, and for VIP, I would like Mom, Dad, Amy, Alex, Will.
Ooh. Oh my god.
It's
That
really
is-
cool.
Dog, I was
Come on, man.
tearing up when I saw that, because
I might
he
be
didn't
tearing
tell
up
me
right
about
now,
it
man.
beforehand, and it was it was
I
just
do
super
actually have a
cool.
bonus. So I was actually chatting with Ennis this morning, and he managed to procure alternate versions of the scene that include your guys' names.
No.
So I'm just going to show one of them right now for you.
Hey, what's going on with the floor seats?
They're being set up later tonight.
Okay, and for VIP, I would like Mom, Dad, Amy, Alex.
Will.
I'm I'm sure Ennis is gonna
man.
appreciate that because we know he's Mandy Mayhem's #1 fan.
You might gotta get a cameo for Ennis as well, man. Come on, man.
Oh,
Should be a buy one get one situation.
Yeah, so
That's
so
awesome,
we,
man.
So
It's
So happy
super
for
cool.
Ennis, man.
yeah, so Hello and Welcome technically exists in the Law and Order universe now.
Yo,
in the Law and
please.
Order cinematic. Marvel
That is super
next. We're gonna make it into Marvel.
Wow, I thought
That's
Wong was already in there, man.
Yo, come on. I wasn't expecting a Marvel Wong slander joke.
Don't you just draw circles or whatever and portals appear or whatever?
Holy, man. That's what I did at Ernst & Young when I was auditing.
You're like, ooh.
Wong's character also round and curvy.
Yo, if they ever
Come
did a
on, man.
flashback, it should be me.
Yo, young Wong?
Yo,
Yeah.
imagine if I got to play Young Wong.
Oh my god.
Yo, I would break that NDA and get sued so quickly.
This guy went from NBA to NDA, man.
Oh, that's amazing, man. No, but shouts to Ennis, man. Congrats.
Definitely.
Congrats
Yo.
on all his success. Congrats on this
Incredible stuff,
episode. Yeah, super cool.
Nice.
Super cool. It was cool. Some of his wardrobe too. Like when I went to visit him in LA last year, he bought this like super cool bingo jacket that he wore. He bought it at the Rose Bowl Flea, which we went to.
Oh, man. I know you and Ennis hanging out together. You guys definitely shopping.
And then he
Or
he
going to
actually-
Ossington.
He actually gifted me because he wore a shirt that he bought from Uncle Otis, which we visited yesterday on the show, and he gifted it to me. And he was wearing
Wow.
on the episode yesterday. So I got a game worn.
You got a
Law
game
and
worn
Order
EE?
Ennis Esmer shirt. So.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Ennis,
Also,
man.
just for
So
the
proud
sake
of
of
you,
our
dog.
friends at
Yes.
June Plum, here is the screen cap for those who are listening.
Wait, what?
Ennis
Did he
is,
fold a crane too?
he already had the crane folded in the scene.
He's, in a
Oh,
he's
okay.
like in a production meeting. Yeah,
Oh,
June
I thought
Plum.
I thought he was an origami head like me, man.
Yeah.
This is
actually- yeah.
this is a common Ennis Esmer Sunday poker fit.
Right.
Yeah, all you need in front of him is a couple of black chips,
Yeah.
in addition to a couple of other colored chips.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
man.
yeah,
Yo,
so
so
check
proud
out
of
Curry
Ennis,
is rocking
man.
the June Plum. Shouts to Craig and Ivy again.
Of course,
Yes.
man. This
Yeah,
guy, look at this guy. This guy got a chance to first off die in Rogers Center, which is incredible as a Blue Jays fan.
Yeah.
And then every other opportunity he got, he put on his friends, man. That's
The
amazing, dude.
The behind the scenes too. Someone saying he's wearing the Alex Wong hat.
Alex Wong.
Yo, that was his biggest shout out to me. so
Inside joke.
the behind the scenes is when he was casted for this.
Mm-hmm.
He had reached out to us and asked for some Hello and Welcome merch because he
Yeah,
was
of course.
wearing
That's
was wearing
right,
the white
yeah.
Hello and Welcome dad hat just
Everywhere.
regularly.
Yeah, he was wearing everywhere.
And he was like, I'm gonna bring some of these pieces to the show. So he
Wow.
did try his best to get the Hello and Welcome hat into the show as well. So yeah, and I guess the
Damn.
wardrobe person's like, nah, put this Wong hat on.
We would have, honestly, I'm proud of Ennis, man. I mean, I've, what is it now? Is it 2 or 3, man? I'm losing count of how many times this guy won the Canadian Screen Awards.
Well,
man.
he's nominated for several CSAs coming up this year. So
Come
go.
on, man.
yeah, so he's gonna be adding more to that shelf.
Yo, he's running out of room on that shelf, man. He's gonna put away some of those cat toys. He's gonna have to make
Yeah,
room.
no, super thrilled for Ennis and
Yeah, and you know what? Also a great poker player. All right.
There's no reaction I can give that won't get me in trouble.
All right. I think that's good as
Yeah,
point
so
as
we'll
any
be
to
we'll be
wrap.
back on
Yeah.
Monday. We'll
Love
be back
you,
on
E.
Monday to recap the first weekend of the playoffs, and then we'll have some Raptors related stuff next week as well,
Wow.
and we'll keep rolling on Hello and Welcome.
So when you guys want to come back Monday?
I think Monday's the
Yeah,
move.
we're gonna do a Monday. Playoffs.
So we'll have game ones are done, play-ins are done, WrestleMania's done.
Yeah, let's do
Oh,
some
yeah.
we'll do some takeaways from the weekend. Maybe
Yeah.
bring in a playoff 6-pack for you guys.
Mm.
So let's
chill,
do
man.
that. And then Raptors, I'm sure you want to either hand out grades, draft moments. We can do that later. In the
Yeah,
week.
I've
We'll
actually
figure it out.
already recruited Mr. Raptors Moments to do
Oh,
Raptors Moments of
okay.
the season with Mr.
Okay.
Moments. So I'm expecting a really good episode, and I
Okay,
guess
so-
you two are going to combine.
Yeah, we're
on-
teaming up.
You
We're
guys are going
gonna-
to team. Yeah,
We're gonna
How many moments do we have to put together between the two of us?
5 rounds.
it's 5-round draft,
Okay.
We should
so
do
at
categories
least
as
15
well.
moments.
Oh,
Yeah.
categories is good.
Yeah, we should
Okay.
do some 5 categories, right?
What do you want, like Jeopardy style? Man,
Like
we're
player-
making Jerome do so much production.
Player specific, off court.
Yeah.
Best tweet because I want to pick Louis Zatzman's tweet about
Oh man.
adding Kyle Lowry to the core to be a championship team.
Best Darko quote.
Yeah. So let's come up
Okay,
with 5
sure.
categories, and then
Okay.
Jerome and I will fuse together into one pudgy Asian person.
Yo, that's crazy, man. Yo, they're calling you Team Jurex.
Yo, man, that mouthfeel doesn't sound right.
Alex, you want to try to do a
Jarek's.
fusion on camera?
Yeah, how about Al Rome?
You go the other way, Alex.
Go the other way, dog.
This way.
Oh,
the
you
other
go
way.
this way. I go this way, man.
What?
Come on.
What?
There,
What's
there
going
we
on?
go.
Why? Just look at the screen,
God,
man.
look at
No,
the
I think my
screen.
thing is flipped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the right
Go
way
to
for
your
me.
left.
I can't. I'm crashing out.
Okay.
So everything's
that
been
hard to
bad
set
since I
up.
tripped over my camera today.
Yeah, fair enough.
Echo cancellation was on. So yeah, we'll be back on Monday. Thank you everyone for
Appreciate you.
watching. Enjoy the playoffs.
Yeah.
Enjoy this weekend. It's gonna
Enjoy
be
the
super
play
fun.
in.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. So
Yeah, there you go. Well, this has been fun. Thanks everyone for listening. Enjoy time with your family first and foremost. Time with your friends this weekend. You have some time off, and happy Easter to people who are celebrating. And we will see you on Monday, probably Monday night. We'll catch you Monday night. See you guys.
This
Peace.
has been the Hello and Welcome podcast presented by Betway.
Of course.